What's up, money? Moicano here, and today I want to talk about something that I know you guys from the internet, from the YouTube, doesn't matter for you guys, but matter for me. I like MMA, I am a true MMA fan, and I just realized nobody talks about PFL and Bellator and other shows on this YouTube, and you know why? Because you guys are casuals, you guys just like to watch UFC, but let me tell you something, PFL, maybe more Bellator, have great fighters. Some of them like to use drugs, my brother. Some of them like to pop on USADA tests, and I'm gonna talk about that, but my whole point here is Bellator has better champions and better fighters than PFL, and because of that, PFL fighters are doomed. Stay tuned, mother. So that's not news. I know everybody knows that PFL is merging with Bellator. They are buying Bellator. We don't know what is going on, but one thing is for sure. Bellator is not making money. The people from Paramount, Scott Coker, I don't know how he got in the business. To be very honest with you, I don't watch Bellator 2. You know why? Because it's very hard. I don't have cable TV. I just watch ESPN and YouTube. So if it is on YouTube, I watch. And other than that, I just watch the guys that I know that are great fighters, like Alexander Shabliy, Usman, not Kamaru Usman Nurmagomedov. Imagine being called Usman Nurmagomedov. That's just crazy. Patrício and Patricio, Pitbull, and many others. So when these guys are fighting, I go over there and I check those fights, because some fights in Bellator I cannot stand. Some fights in PFL, you don't. Some guys, they don't know how to fight, but my whole point here is to talk about the Bellator elite. They make a lot of money. I'm just going to throw some names. Johnny Eblen, I think this guy could be champion in UFC. If he's not gonna be champion in the UFC, definitely he could be on the top 5 fighting. But man, to me, to see a guy like Johnny Eblen fight Adesanya and even Strickland, and believe me, I saw Johnny spar Strickland on American Top Team. I know he can be champion. It's not gonna be easy, of course, because it's a fight. But guys like Nenkov, guys like Patrício and Patricky Pitbull, the 135 guy, I think his name is Patchy Mix or something like that. Yes, Patchy Mix. This motherfucker is good, brother. That's a good motherfucker over there. Patchy Mix, if you see his record, you know, the people that he beat, 30 years old, 19 wins and 1 losses, my brother, and he beat Sergio Pettis, Rafa Stoltz, Nurmagomedov, Kyoji Horiguchi, the legend from Japan, the last midget samurai of the war, Albert Morales, Rick Bandejas, and many, many others. This guy is 5'8", my brother, for a 35. He's good as it comes. And my whole point is, PFL doesn't have the whole division, but with the merge, I think they're going to add these divisions like 35 and 185. And for the fighters that were champion before, they're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna be in trouble, because imagine Olive Obamesi, 2 times champion in PFL, fighting Usman Nurmagomedov, fighting Alexander Shabliy. I could even say Shabliy could kill him in the cage, you know, because Shabliy is really, really, really good. And Olive Obamesi, to be really honest with you, is not that good. His career on UFC was not that great, you know. Name a champion from the Bellator and name a champion for the PFL and see what happens. Probably Bellator is going to take over PFL, and I don't know if this is good or this is bad. One thing I'm sure, people were losing money with Bellator, and that's why PFL bought them. Do I think they're gonna do a good job? I hope so. I hope so. Before to be a fighter, I am an MMA fan, and I want to see more promotion with better fighters getting more money. But still, UFC, you cannot compete with UFC, and we just saw. But the guys that I think they're going to have a good chance against the Bellator guys, one is Renan Problema. But remember, on this heavyweight, we're going to have Francis Ngannou. Renan Problema is the champion right now of PFL, and we saw how athletic he is. and he's going to give a lot of troubles to anybody on the heavyweight division. And I think Antonio Carlos Jr. is cara de sapato, he's recovering for a knee, but he's not at 205. I think he's better at 185, and I think he could do good in 185. And of course we have fighters like Nathan Schulte and all the guys. But talking about Bellator and PFL, I think the level of Bellator is way bigger than PFL. And you could ask me, why? Why, Moicano? Why are you saying that? Because Bellator has been in the game for a long time. A lot of champions, a lot of people from UFC that got over there. But if you look the resume of most of PFL fighters that fought in UFC, they were not that great. So I think Bellator is going to take over, and they're gonna call PFL, but actually will be Bellator Champion. I'm excited to see champion versus champion on the Bellator and on the PFL, and I hope they do more of that. And I hope the people that put money in PFL keep doing that, because remember, before UFC create the sport and create the business, they were losing a lot of money. And I think that's the gap that keeping other shows to be the same size of UFC, you know, because you have to spend a lot of money, you have to create a lot of champions, and then the sponsorships and the public gonna recognize you. And I think the best thing that PFL is doing right now is to bring in Bellator and to bring in Gano, try to make that brand bigger. And let's just hope PFL does a good job next year. And UFC too, if you are a true MMA fan, you support, let me know what you think about that. Do you think it was a smart move? What do you think about that? That was good, that was nice. We're going to have more competition in PFL, or Bellator gonna ruin PFL? Let me know in the comments. Stay tuned. That was the tomorrow video, my brother. Us.